The sea, man's friend and provider, but sometimes an unforgiving associate. Man makes mistakes, and in this powerful environment, the consequences can be fatal. The sea is a perfect servant, but a terrible master. Shipping in the North Sea is extremely dense. From time to time, the weather can be difficult. Crews and coastal guidance and support services have a heavy task.
We hebben ook brandweerlui bij ons en brandblusmiddelen. Hoe is de situatie daarover?
Nou, dat gaat wel prima, behalve het weer dan. De brand is gelukkig uit.
And when a vessel falls prey to fire, as this film will show, rescue services must demonstrate every quality of speed, expertise, and courage they are able. Firefighting and salvage at sea are no tasks for amateurs. After rescue of the passengers and crew can come the complex and often extremely dangerous firefighting and salvage. An irony of the sea is that these teams of experts on standby are sometimes viewed more as grave robbers than as rescuers. Their efforts are sometimes confused with commercial opportunism. Even in the saddest of disasters, tasks must be performed that tax the sympathy of the observer. Possible recriminations can only come later. The immediate challenge is the safe and proper care for life and hardware. A call is made upon arduous training and experience built up over long time and considerable danger. It is lonely, responsible and risky work. Beaching, collision, oil spills and fire are but some of the dangers. Fire at sea is a particularly terrifying event. For those on board, the choices are horribly restricted. Early on the morning of 25th of January 1987, the Greek-registered tanker Olympic Dream catches fire after a collision. The place, the River Scheldt, some 2 miles from the Dutch town of Flushing and the main entrance channel to the busy port of Antwerp. Major towns, chemical industry, and nuclear power plants are nearby. The problem, some of the 35 million liters of high-octane unleaded gasoline on fire, far more explosive than crude oil, enough to devastate the vessel and the environment. The burning vessel has to be removed from the vicinity of shipping urgently. The firefighting and salvage services of Smit-Tak of Rotterdam and Antwerp-based URS, the Union de Sauvetage et Remorquage, are at the site within minutes of being alerted. The expertise and teamwork between these two organizations would prove critical in safely extinguishing the fire and saving the hull, cargo, and environment. A well-trained organization rapidly moves into action. A total of 10 firefighting tugs and salvage support vessels are on standby or already at the site. Some 14 water and foam monitors, 80 men and 30,000 kilograms of foam concentrate are put to work cooling the hull and controlling the flames. Deck surface temperatures are now up to 1200 degrees centigrade. The burning vessel is boarded by the rescue teams. The damage is evaluated. There is significant danger of the flames spreading. The convoy is requested to leave territorial waters soonest. The firefighting has to continue over 2 full nights at sea and while on the move through crowded traffic lanes. Operating in daytime with so many vessels in close proximity demands every bit of experience and concentration from skippers and crews to avoid collisions. At night, it's even tougher. This is what awaited the firefighting team. A long route around the North Sea from the Sunday to the Thursday morning. The convoy will have to pass numerous busy traffic lanes. Sandbanks will have to be avoided. The wind and currents will cause unceasing difficulties. National governments also don't like floating infernos in their backyards. The distance traveled will total some 300 nautical miles. The weather is sympathetic for the moment. Wind is now force 2, and there is a gentle swell, but the forecast is not good. The Olympic Dream has to be towed in such a way that the wind blows the fire away from the other endangered tanks. Every 10 minutes, local shipping is warned of the rescue by radio. The positions of the tugs around the casualty are changed regularly to minimize the effects of excessive heat. The nearest rescuers can approach 30 meters. Course is changed to the north to pass between the Oosthinde and the Blijbank. The convoy is now coming uncomfortably close to the English coast. Authorities advise the convoy to keep out of their territorial waters. In the afternoon, it is clear the first foam attack is unsuccessful. Preparations are made for another one. By the second day, the Olympic Dream begins to list. The flames are now affecting the front center and second starboard tanks. The third major foam attack is started on the forward starboard tank, as port 1, center 1, starboard 2 cargo tanks and forward fuel tanks now seemingly feeding the fire. 10 firemen, 3 foam monitors, 6 water jets are directed at the blaze. The remaining monitors are cooling the adjacent tanks. Vessel's list increases to 5 degrees. Life insurance is expensive in this sort of work, and filming also has its moments. Almost 2 days from the first fire warning, the final foam attack is having visible effect. Every monitor is directed at the fire. The deck is finally cooling down. It is no longer melting the firefighters' boot soles. The fight has been a tough one. High temperatures, dense smoke, and the ever-present risk of explosion have tested the team's experience and know-how. Tuesday, January the 27th, 6:45 in the morning. The fire is out. The hull of the Olympic Dream and 32,000 tons of gasoline have been saved.